great day to be from New Berlin. What a great day to be an American. You know, after serving all over the world, in some of the garden spots of the world, some places I just do not ever go back. It's great for Elaine and me to be able to be up here and celebrate and recognize this very special and sacred day right here at home. Before I make any opening remarks, I'd like to thank the Girl Scouts and Amy for such a great Pledge of Allegiance. And also to Sahara and her teammates in the singing of the national anthem. Let's hear it for them. You know, I used to ask my soldiers a simple question. What's the punctuation mark at the end of the first verse of the national anthem? The line that goes, "The land of the free and the home of the brave." Anybody know? It's a question mark. It's a question mark. Now that sounds like some sort of dumb trivia question that you'd ask, you know, a classmate or something, but it's not. Because to know the answer to that, you've really got to understand that the national anthem tells a story of heroism. You see, during the War of 1812, when Francis Scott Key wrote those lyrics, he was being held on board a British ship looking across the Baltimore Harbor at Fort McHenry, where the Americans had been pounded by British artillery all through the night. That's where the line, "The rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air," comes from. At dawn's early light, Francis Scott Key truly didn't know if the Americans at that fort had weathered that barrage. But they had. He didn't know if that American flag was still waving. But it was. He didn't know if the America that he knew to be the land of the free had survived. But it had. And it has for more than 200 years since. And I believe that as long as we have patriots like those here today and those that we are honoring today, that our flag will continue to wave over the America that we love for a long, long time. I want to offer another quick thought about our flag. For nearly 250 years, it has served as a rallying point for our service members on the battlefield. It's brought all Americans together in times of pride. It's been a symbol of hope during times of anxiety and uncertainty. Now, for those of us who have gray hair or a little older, think about the number of flags that you saw waving proudly in the air in the weeks and days after September 11, 2001. And for you younger folks, think about the number of American flags that you've seen waving proudly in the breeze in spite of the challenges of COVID-19. But that beautiful flag is more than a piece of cloth. It's a symbol of who we are. We, you and I, are more than residents of America. We are America, the greatest and most just social experiment in human history. You see, 200 years ago, when the famous diplomat Alex de Tocqueville reported back to his European sponsors, he said, "America is great because America is good." As a country, we may have a ways to go to be perfect. I'll admit that. But don't let anybody try to convince you that we are not great and that we are not good. But we won't become better if we don't admit our history, recognize our history, and learn from it. If we focus purely on what went wrong without being very proud of what went oh so right. The America we love is the handiwork of imperfect human beings, living in imperfect times, but doing amazing things. Today, I ask you not to play Monday morning quarterback or second guess our history, but rather learn from it. Celebrate those amazing acts executed by human beings living in imperfect times. Acts of heroism, of bravery, of ingenuity, and yes, of great human compassion. For it is those attributes that will take America forward. Now, not long ago, I was asked to read some essays for the American Legion. And I was reading one by a young lady, high school student from Unadilla Valley. I wish I could remember her name because her words left a lasting impression on me. She simply wrote, "The left wing and the right wing are all part of the same bird." Now I thought about that and my mind pictured this bird with only one wing. It didn't matter whether it was the left wing or the right wing, struggling to get up off the ground. And when it finally did become airborne, with only one wing, all it could do was fly in meaningless circles. Like that bird, the American eagle, for it to move forward, it's got to depend on the power and the balance of both wings working together. Today, this very sacred day, we honor those who raised their right hand and said, "Send me." Men and women who had both the virtues and the frailties of humanity. Men and women who answered the call, wore the cloth of America, and sadly never returned. When they raised their right hands, they embarked on an amazing and noble mission to support and defend not a person, not a political party, not even some catchy phrase of the day. They pledged themselves to something bigger, to support and defend America and America's goodness and America's greatness as encaptured in our Constitution. When service members take that oath, they become part of something bigger than themselves. They become part of the military family. Now that word family is pretty important because the military truly is a family. Just like any other family, in times of crisis, that family pulls together and gets the job done. Very diverse force, all working together. As service members, that sense of family is engraved in our very DNA. It's who we are. It's also what causes a service member to take that next step on behalf of their teammates. Today, we honor those who took that last step and honor their teammates, and it proved fatal, cutting short a very promising young life. Now, when a service member dies, they're not alone. The bond of their military family doesn't end. There's a teammate standing with them, whether it's on the plane home or even at the funeral home, until they're placed in eternal rest. As you can see here today, the military family doesn't forget. They pay them proper tribute. Today, I would hope that all Neberlin and all America never forgets. Now, our debt to them cannot be fully repaid. No parade, no fancy speech, no rifle salute, no playing of taps will ever bring them back. The best we can do is reflect on our fallen heroes, mourn their loss, celebrate their lives, care for and care about their families. Now, there are a couple other things I'd ask you to do today. First, think about what really brought you here. It wasn't the hope of sunshine like we're seeing now. It wasn't the sound of the drums, although they were great. It wasn't the fire trucks. It wasn't the sports teams, but thank you guys for coming. Really appreciate it. It wasn't the antique cars. It was something about honoring America and those who proudly served her. So today, I'd ask that you honor the fallen by cherishing the America that they have entrusted to us and working to make it better. Second, talk to and talk with a veteran. You'll come away with a new sense of the word hero. And don't be afraid to say thank you. Third, think about and pray for the heroes of today. Young men and women of competence, courage, commitment, and character who are honoring that same oath that their ancestors did. Supporting and defending the country that we love and our way of life in 177 countries around the globe. In closing, I'd like to ask you to look at and celebrate Memorial Day in a slightly different way than you may have in the past. If you could go back in time and somehow interview one of our fallen heroes, they'd probably tell you that in the time before they fell, they probably weren't really thinking about American greatness, our flag, the Constitution. Now, that makes a great movie script, but it's probably not the case. In the hours and minutes before they fell, these heroes were probably just thinking about life back home in places like Neberlin, New York, thinking about their loved ones, and the next time that they too would be able to join in on a parade, a picnic, a barbecue, or even a camping trip. And then in their final few moments before their earthly lives ended, these heroes were probably thinking about survival, their own and that of their teammates, their military family. So today, this Memorial Day, I'd ask you to think of two different things. Honor those very human thoughts by celebrating our country the way our heroes probably wish they could if they were with us today. Honor their heroic actions, noble actions, taken by human beings from places like New Berlin. For it is those actions that have guaranteed us the right to enjoy a parade, to pledge the flag, to listen to the Star-Spangled Banner, and to have those Memorial Day picnics, just like they remembered. May God bless our fallen heroes. May He hold them close today and every day. May He watch the service members today that are serving around the globe. And may God continue to bless and guide our amazing United States of America. Thank you very much.